Warriors have won 8 of 9, so according to Guru, they will now win the 2024 title. That's how I'm introducing Willard.
Don't buy Willard.
They might. Can't prove that they won't.
I have a theory. I told you I wanted to share it before Steiny came in the room. It's about the Niners. Rewatching the game. I just want to get it off quick. What if I told you, no excuses here, the Greenlaw injury and when it happened and what they were trying to do and it got off to a good start is not the Brock Purdy injury in the NFC Championship game, but maybe just a couple steps, levels below in regard to the impact on the rest of that game?
I mean, there's no way to know.
Right.
It's not, look, I mean, my answer is going to be probably unsatisfying. Like, he's a star player. So, yeah, it hurt. It hurt. He's a star player, and it hurt. But to say that they would have won if he had stayed in is also not fair. And so, the injury situation certainly did not help the 49ers on Sunday. Add in Debo and George Kittle. It did not help.
And Lenore and Jair Brown on the same play. Yeah. And they were not available for overtime. So if you look at the overtime defense, and Steiny, you and I were talking out in the common area about, if they get one stop and you get to overtime and you look at that defense and there's Flanagan Fowles and there's George Odom and there is Ambry Thomas and they're all on the field. And these are guys you were not counting on playing. And I wonder what Travis Kelce's stats were after the Greenlaw injury, because he was a real menace to that offense when he was out there.
He was all second half. And obviously that's when Dre didn't play. But, I mean, a Chiefs fan would sit here and go, Amenahu was fantastic for us this year. We didn't have him. Tooney is one of our top offensive linemen. We didn't have him. Nobody wants to. To me, it's a very different conversation when you see something like what happened last year to the 49ers. It is different when you lose your quarterback. Outside of that, you don't get any sympathy in the NFL for losing players.
Steiny here went down the last 3 drives for the Chiefs where they scored 4, and I was just like, I get that, and no excuses, but damn if you would have had Greenlaw, maybe one of those is a stop. That, you know what I mean? Like, man.
And the first
they still could have won the game.
The first one was a freebie. The first one was set up by Ray McLeod, pretending like he was at an Easter egg hunt in in North Marin. It's like, dude, fall on the ball. You're trying to like bend over and pick it up. Just dive on it. He didn't.
I still think
one of the many mistakes.
Yeah, it's on Luter more than him, but
fine.
Anyway,
but when you are the punt returner and the ball is loose, and you know that the ball has been touched by your team, you dive on it. It was one of the many moments, and I was mentioning yesterday about Low Neal, attention to detail, and there were so many little details that they missed, and that's why they lost.
I think today is about that. And it's a hard pill for 49er followers and fans to swallow. But this wasn't even just in the game. It's since the game. What has been shown is that the Chiefs were a hell of a lot more buttoned up. Chiefs were just more buttoned up.
Feliciano v. Burford.
Right. You got offensive linemen fighting one another on Twitter over who was supposed to block who.
Oh.
You have Brandon Ayuk putting the very normal, mysterious IG story
and
notice
his brother
out there.
Talking.
But then his brother goes, "We're out," and his girl is "We may never be back at Levi's." I'm
he gone.
You guys are under contract. What on earth is going on? Nick Bosa in a press conference twice uses the word preparate. Like if we had been prepared for that, then we might have played it differently. You've got at least 2 players who are like, we didn't know the OT rules.
Oh, jeez, Mark.
Stop. Put this all together, and at minimum, bad look. Because the Chiefs are all lined up like we knew the rules, and we were going for 2 if they scored a touchdown and we got 1.
Well, Mecole Hardman didn't know the rule, and he scores the touchdown, and he doesn't know what to do until Mahomes comes over and goes, dude, we won the effing Super Bowl.
Well, maybe he thought the clock had run out.
Whatever.
On the quarter that doesn't count.
Exactly.
Looked up and he's like, clock scored 0.
He wasn't sure.
Win?
Yeah. Did I just go for 2? We're down 1.
Mecole started the year as a Jet, so he's not thinking Super Bowl. He's like, come on.
Good throw, Aaron.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait, that was Patrick.
No, it's tough, man. And I think maybe the question of the day, when mistakes like that are made, and I think that you two were touching on this off and on all day, And I think you could have a fair answer both ways. But when mistakes like that are made, missed assignment on a block, Luter lets his foot get hit by the ball, who's to blame, the player or the coach?
It's a player in my mind.
And I was going to say player too.
Well, we don't know.
Like, I mean, cannot blame Kyle Shanahan for what happened on the punt. Now, the play where Chris Jones, I have no idea what happened there.
You have Spencer Burford went the wrong way.
Right.
Okay. Well,
He
then,
went
protection was
then
right.
to me, it's on Burford.
He went
doubt.
left, and he was supposed to go right.
Okay.
And you watch the replay, and the center and the left guard, they both slide to the right. And then so you wind up with three guys slide to the right. We did this yesterday. We wind up with three guys, three Niners blocking one Chief. Is what, and you have
Yes. No, he ends up just standing there. You can tell. He turns
and you
left,
see
and he's like,
McKivitz,
there's nobody here. I'm like,
and that's
he's
why
over there.
McKivitz is being blamed, because McKivitz is waiting for his guy who is coming, by the way. So he's waiting for the guy who's off the frame.
The video killed McKivitz because the video video killed the football star because everything that's all over, you can't see the end who McKivitz is blocking, so it looks like McKivitz is blocking it, but he's not.
It's like that TikTok where you put it on yourself.
What's happening?
And you're pouring a drink and you're saying, that's enough, but you don't put, it's your arm, actually, that's pouring it.
Look at you on TikTok. I had no idea.
That was very abstract.
No, I would not blame a coach for what happened on the punt return. That's hard for me to, and if it is, doesn't have to be the special teams coach.
I mean, right. And actually, if you want to talk about whatever, a defensive missed assignment, like or talk when Bosa says if we'd been prepared for that, does your mind go to Wilkes, or was Bosa saying the Chiefs ran read option for the first time all year, so we weren't prepared?
Because they got him.
Because who the hell knew that they were going to do that? Which therefore, so all of this stuff can be looked at two different ways.
But it's finger pointing.
You know how people look at this, and I'm not saying it's wrong. Like, if you send everybody out there and they do something wrong, it's like a kid who misbehaves at school. Nobody thinks about the parenting. Nobody? Yeah, they do. They're like, hey, dude, somebody giving you rules at home?
I was just going there.
It depends on how often it happens.
Well, what if you end up in jail? The kid ends up in jail. Does that make me an automatic bad parent if I didn't tell little Johnny stay away from these things and he ends up there?
Definitely not.
Could be just a bad apple. And, sometimes that happens where you have kids who are just, prone to push those limits.
But there was 100 million plays. That play at the 9, like I envisioned them getting it. I thought Kittle was non-existent. I thought Nance was going to be like first down, the 4th and 5, 3rd and 5. Dude, they would have bled the clock and won on a field goal.
Let me ask you guys a question.
That was play of the game.
Let me ask you guys a question. Yep. When I tell you what George Kittle had 2 catches for 4 yards, how do you guys determine whether or why that is?
We've been going at it.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to you guys.
I don't know if there is fault. I look at the Chiefs' defense, and I say, this is a defense that was nasty against the pass all year. And so they looked at Kittle, and they took Kittle away. And they looked at Debo, and they took him away for the most part. He had 11 targets and 3 catches.
You know what? I want to ask you about that. Whose fault is, that's not good?
No.
So is that Purdy?
Well,
was Purdy inaccurate?
Purdy missed a couple.
Or was Debo?
And they defended a few.
Yeah, here's the another unsatisfying answer. There's no real
exactly.
There's no way to know. There's no way to know because you don't know what the scheme was asking for. Like I keep going back to the Juwan Jennings trick play. George Kittle was option 1, but they took it away. The safety did a great job of recognizing right away.
Yeah.
Right away when Brock threw it, he's like, that's a backward pass, and they're throwing it again. He turned around and he blanketed Kittle. All right, so it's like, was he option 1? Was he not option 1? Did he need to stay back and block? Was he open and Purdy missed him? Like, those are the ones I would look at. I would only blame Purdy if you've got video of Kittle like the Super Bowl 4 years ago. Kittle was running wide open down the seam,
times.
And Jimmy never saw him.
No doubt.
I didn't see a lot of that, so I'm not putting it on Purdy.
Well, there was the Debo pass in the end zone where Debo was open.
He overthrew him.
He overthrew him.
Chris Jones got in his face, but he did. He overthrew him.
It was an overthrow.
Yeah, no
Debo
doubt.
had 3 yards of separation.
Absolutely. So there's always all of those things.
First time all year.
Wow.
But
he does have it. Yeah,
there's no way
a great route runner.
There's no way to know.
Right.
Yeah. There's no way to know, and you know what? Actually, it leads down. You kind of got me a few times today, Steiny, when you're talking about individuals in this game, both sides of the ball, where you're like, well, that one played like a champion, and this one did not. And I'm like, okay, so Brandon Ayuk runs free in the end zone, but because Burford misses a block, you can never get him the ball. But Mecole Hardman runs free in the end zone, and Mahomes is able to get him the ball. And in your mind, it sounded like you were saying Hardman played great and Ayuk didn't.
It's more like makes the play.
But Ayuk made the play, and the ball was never delivered.
Well, and you need 12 guys to make it.
That's why I struggle with going individual by individual and saying you played great if you won and you didn't if you lost.
There was one play in that game where I think we can say, okay, the Chris Jones play. All right, he comes through, Purdy throws it. He ended up throwing it into the end zone.
Over Jennings' head.
And now, would you just tell me what you agree with and what you don't? One is he was put in a tough spot. Was there a throw that any quarterback could have made with zip on it, out to the flat?
He asked me this.
Where he catches it and gets that first down.
Not with zip. You have to float that into space.
Okay.
Well, what about completed?
But, like...
Yeah, there's a throw.
Could Montana have made... Could Mahomes have made that throw?
Is the one.
Maybe he throws a side armor.
Right.
See, here's the thing, though. Jones is not coming directly at Purdy. Jones goes to his arm side. The throw that Purdy could have made was Ayuk by himself in the center of the field.
Well, he didn't see him.
He didn't see him, and I don't blame him for that.
Right,
There's no way that
that one to me
you can't
is,
go through progression.
Jennings is the primary, for sure.
Like, nobody's saying, well, he had Ayuk up. Well, he did, but...
He did.
You know. Hey, you're listening to the 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit.
And remember, guys, it's third down in that spot, right? So
you get a first, it's over.
Yes, but you don't want to just throw it
Right.
up for grabs. Right. So you're not just going to make that throw and hope.
Right.
If it's fourth down, you throw it and you throw it up for grabs and you hope your guy makes a play, but it's third down. So
you're going to lose the 3 points.
You're going to lose the
ball.
three. So you're trying to live to fight another day.
Or something quick in the
spot.
flat to McCaffrey, maybe. Or Debo. I'm just on that.
Chris
might
Jones
not work,
is a gargantuan human being, and he was unblocked.
His second time against the Niners in the Super Bowl, he wrecked their last drive.
I know, but I don't even give him credit for this one. He was unblocked. You could have run through there and disrupted that throw.
Well, Spags gets credit because he was bringing 6, and he clearly flummoxed whatever Kyle Shanahan called.
Well, Burford went the wrong way.
I got something for you three.
But that's a win for the defensive coordinator.
I guess. Burford went the wrong way.
Absolutely.
The guy went the wrong way.
Yeah. But even if Burford blocks a guy, there's another guy coming, and Purdy probably still has time to make the throw.
He totally does, because as you know, all you had to do, you just had to disrupt him for a blink of an eye.
Right.
And that's a touchdown. That's it. And Burford is big enough to have done that.
And that goes back to Bosa's word, though, of preparation.
Are they saying it's your fault? You
didn't see this?
No. We've been doing
it. I'll do this as quickly as I can. A content creator puts the video of the play up, and he took a shot at which offensive line? McKivitz.
Oh, boy.
He goes, McKivitz. Feliciano jumps into the chat and goes, that's not McKivitz's guy. But now where Feliciano made a mistake is then the conversation continues and says, but there's, two guys, blah, blah, blah. Someone needs to chip him. Feliciano comes in and goes, if the guy who was supposed to block him is there, then the play works. Burford, he doesn't use Burford's name. Burford, though, comes in and knows he's that guy and jumps into the chat and goes, geez, I woke up to this. Thanks a lot, bro.
Wow.
Get better soon. Because remember, Feliciano got hurt in the game.
Yeah.
Feliciano came out the next day and goes, I was hungover, and I was trying to protect one teammate, and in the process, I upset another, and I apologize.
But that subject matter
I do
to
too.
get in the fight about.
Honestly, but it's on behalf of Spencer Burford,
here we go.
Apology not accepted.
How about on behalf of like I got a phrase for this whole thing.
Yeah.
Text me, bro.
Yeah.
Don't do this on Twitter.
This is our new world, man.
Damn, social media.
Yeah.
Like what? I mean, I got mad at myself after the Super Bowl. I couldn't turn it off.
You were on X. We talked about it yesterday. He was on. Well,
I started the first statement with him like
That one just hit me.
Hey, we had a great party.
what a game. Oh, wow.
You look pretty reserved up in Napa with your girl. When did you do?
That was early.
Let me read something to you.
Her brother got mad at us.
Why?
He's like, this loss is on you guys. You're not locked in. You're up there drinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, everybody's got their own pregame routine. Don't tell me I wasn't locked in. I was getting liquored up and ready to go.
And they were drinking red and gold. He had 4 flights of red. She had 4 flights of gold.
Too cute.
Thinking it was going to be euphoria.
Honestly,
at the end.
if you ever want to induce vomiting, look at him. Or actually, you have to follow both because he'll put something on IG like "great day with my special lady," and like 7 minutes later, she will either retweet his pic or the same pic. Couldn't be happier with my special guy. And I went home and, supper's like, are you okay? Nope, just checking Mark's Twitter.
So tomorrow's a big day for you,
Dude,
Will.
hurling.
Yeah. Tomorrow's a big day for you.
I like my girl.
Oh,
I'm
Valentine's.
sorry. I like my girl.
No, I love you
like
both.
my girl.
That's a tough one. Tomorrow's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I actually already I made hay while the sun shined. I already got it buttoned up today.
Look
Took
at
baby
him.
Mila. We went to the florist earlier.
Easy.
We got it all done.
Good
And-
for you. Big
well,
Valentine's Day guy, I hear.
No,
Yeah, I heard
Safeway.
you guys did a great job.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, it's
So-
Valentine's.
Yeah.
Do you know what to do?
Today-
Do you know where your girl is?
We go to Safeway today to get our flowers, and the florist right away is like, flowers have prices gone up. I'm like, yeah, of course, prices gone up
dynamic
February
pricing.
13th, dude. Just,
It's like the Dodgers are in town or something.
hit me, baby,
Hey.
one more time.
What?
Yeah.
I know they signed someone.
Dude, Jorge
Dude, 38
Soler.
homers.
I'm going to do a
36.
four-hour podcast.
Is
That's
it
true.
36?
It's 36.
Former World Series MVP.
MVP, thank you.
First player. They haven't had a player hit 30 home runs in 20 years. Since Barry Bonds.
ready for the
Man.
stat?
Well, this guy doesn't count until he does it.
That's right.
I
He
get
also
that.
gets hurt a lot. But here's the stat you can bring to your coworker
Farhan.
and make you'll sound so smart. Jorge Soler has hit more homers per at bat in his career than Bryce Harper. He homers
great stat.
more often
He's
than
a
Bryce
odd
Harper
man.
per at bat.
They're winning the World Series, aren't they?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Ready for the really controversial
Per
statement?
at bat.
Are you ready for
DH.
the really
He'll be the
controversial
DH.
statement? They're not done.
Right.
Yeah, they got some guys out
They're
here.
not done.
Give us a
Whatever.
name.
He's
Yeah.
gonna do more.
It's Farhan might as well live in Missouri, the show me state.
I look
That's-
forward to
but
all
this
the
was a good
Giants
one.
are going to the World
Gotta-
Series
gotta
talk
do
with
it.
Darryl Guru Johnson.
Not done
Willard,
yet.
We're going to do that from
That-
March
that-
through
stop.
elimination
That
day.
Joey Bart trade for cash considerations is coming.
Oh, yeah.
My
coming.
partner's mad at me.
Why?
Because he wants me to blame somebody. He wants me to say somebody from the 49ers should be fired. And I just can't muster that. But L'Jarius Sneed said, I don't know if you guys heard, linebacker for the Chiefs, cornerback. He said, we knew what they were going to do, and we wanted to make Brock Purdy throw.
Okay.
So I'm asking you before.
But there's a new
Have I
strategy. with
overestimated the
49ers.
Niners' offensive weaponry because the Ravens were barking? Savage from Green Bay said,
Sneed.
Sneed.
The one who fell down.
No doubt about
The
it.
one who left Brandon Ayuk to have
no
the
doubt
whole
about it.
end zone to himself.
Right.
Okay.
But to
How'd that work out, though?
But to his exactly.
Thank you,
the
Burford.
greater point was
Yeah.
Thank you,
they
Burford.
kind of kept the Niners. So I'm wondering, moving forward now, do the Niners not have the pieces to stretch the D? Because Steiny's asking me, now you need other players? Or maybe Kyle says, you know what? I like to attack the middle of the field, Willard, but if defenses are going to tell me after the game that they got us in a box, maybe I need to see some different stuff.
I got a hard time with losing.
go get Tyreek Hill.
I got
Tyreek
it.
Hill.
Yeah, I got it. Well, how's that working out? I mean,
well, they won 2 Super Bowls.
Exactly. They haven't lost a damn playoff game since he left. So I got a hard time with you lose the Super Bowl in overtime, and now what you do apparently doesn't work. I have a really hard time with that. And did you hear, and this was a combo of Albert Breer and, geez, I'm going to forget the other writer, but some guys spent some time with the Chiefs post-game, with the whole team. And that's where you get the good intel, because everybody gets wasted, and everybody's willing to talk because there's not another game coming up.
True, sir.
So the defensive coaches for the Chiefs, and here's the quote, they were like, Brock messed up what we were doing so bad. He has Drew Brees tendencies, and that's why it looked so good in the first quarter. What we came out and planned to do, he was killing us. And we had to rework everything. We had to totally make adjustments on the fly to slow it down because he is so damn good at reading what's happening out there. No, the Niners have their guy. They got their guy. They went to the Super Bowl, and they were.
Well, I was talking about more of the outside because Debo, the good defense, Dibs knows what he's going to do.
Yeah.
We're on that screen game. You ain't going to. But do they need, and I'm not saying Ayuk's not Jerry Rice, but I'm talking about somebody to stretch the defense.
So they've got
is that on Kyle?
They've got an $800,000 quarterback. They got the best running back in football.
Yeah.
Apparently, most 49er fans, they think, got top 3 tight end in football.
There's no doubt.
They have Brandon Ayuk, who's a top 5 receiver. They've got
tackle.
Deebo Samuel, who's the greatest wild card. They don't have enough weapons. They need something else.
No,
I'm
not using that word. I'm using how they're being used. Because you had 7 points at halftime in 2 playoff games with all this weaponry all of a sudden, Dibs, and the Super Bowl. It was there for you. You just couldn't add.
Yep.
So I'm asking, it's the way they're being used.
Well, you're asking Kyle Shanahan to do something that he won't do.
Okay.
And, you love the fullback, and you love to run it. You love to possess it. You love to win 2017. And I know Brock got to 30 a bunch this year, and you couldn't get to 30 this time. And it's because McCaffrey fumbled in large part. And Kansas City also was not distracted by all your motion and your eye candy, the pre-snap stuff. Kansas City played you straight up. They pressured your quarterback. I think the O-line is where you need to make the changes. You need a better O-line.
I agree with that completely. I also think this. You go into a football game, there's 2 things that happen if you really want to boil it down. There's your plan, and then there's how you execute it. So what you're talking about is, do the Niners need a new plan? I would argue no. They would need to execute their plan differently. I don't think you can say the 49ers should have won and then in the next sentence say there's a problem with Kyle Shanahan's plan. Well, no. If they should have won, then the plan worked. The execution of it did not. And that's what I would argue was more of what happened in that football game.
Yeah.
I believe, and this is why I don't want wholesale changes. I agree with Dibs. Offensive line, that needs to be more effective. But I would argue it's
and I
likely,
said they tricked it off.
It's likely that I could write down 4 plays on a piece of paper right now, and if any one of them goes the other way, the Niners probably win the game.
I just saw one of them.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Oh, I don't know. Kelsey ran
for 26.
right
and
by
there's the other
Fred
one,
Warner.
3rd and 6, and they go 0
blown
blitz.
coverage.
Yeah.
I think
It's a blown
the
coverage.
change is going to be a new defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
and I
agree with that.
I said it 3 weeks ago, and
It's going to be interesting.
You know who's
What?
You know why I believe? Because your boy Lo Neal. You know what I mean here? Like Lo knows stuff that he kind of keeps under. And like I can tell he's been watching the Niners defense all year, and he knows there's issues. And in Vegas, he was like, "Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Wilkes isn't back." And I was like, "Oh man, really? No."
But he insinuated that Wilkes might not want to be
I think
back. Too.
You're right.
Yeah,
he did. You know
ready for
that
this?
whole come out the thing, Willard. That I don't think that sat well
Mutual.
with him.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
Mutual.
1 hour from now, we will play a large chunk of Kyle Shanahan's exit interview, and he was asked this very question with regard to the future of Steve Wilkes.
Okay.
and stuff.
All right.
And stuff.
I just got one.
And he was
finish.
He was sober when he answered it.
It was what you asked. If Juszczyk would have scored, would you think he would have celebrated the touchdown in overtime?
I think he would have ripped off his jersey to see a new custom jacket made by his wife.
Exactly.
With the Super Bowl logo.
Before the ball,
That's a five.
before the
That's
ball
a damn
landed in the
five.
stands, he would have been saying, "I'm going to
Could you
Disneyland."
imagine?
All right, you guys have a great
And
one.
he's an Ivy Leaguer too. That's your Ivy League.
Okay, it's
Hey,
not.
You know what? I'm going to say this to you directly. The Ivy League, it's overrated.
I agree.
Thank you.
I couldn't get in.
Night, night.
Can't stand the Ivy League.